Hey everybody, it's November 2nd, 2021, and it's another election day for me, so let's vote. I do this video every time I vote with my mail-in ballot just to let people know my perspective on all these issues and keeping the streak alive. I get this special sticker now this time around. It's looks like that. I voted. Awesome. I'm not going to do like an overhead view as I'm filling in the circles because this time around I would get doxxed a lot more as far as like what part of the city I'm living in. Hey buddy. Pitbull slightly in view there. Lay down with me. Lay down. Good boy. Alright. So I'll just go ahead and tell you what all it was that was on this ballot. First, there's voting for mayor and voting for city council members. And yeah, I did that. Then there's Amendment 78, which basically says, shall the state have an extra fund where all the money has to go into, and then this custodian of this custodial fund will decide if you're spending the money properly, and it'll be all transparent. But I voted no on that because it sounds a lot like another layer after Tabor, the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which just ties up money in bureaucracy and makes government not work. And that's been a very big problem here in Colorado since the implementation of Tabor, is that everything's underfunded. It's just a way to underfund programs by then adding another layer of approval to spending. So I voted no on that. Next one is Prop 119. It says, shall state taxes be increased by a certain $137 million annually for retail marijuana, and it's for more money for state agencies and schools and whatnot. So I voted yes. You know, I am an addiction counselor, and I get that maybe if we voted no on everything, we could go back to making marijuana illegal. But I'm of the tax it and make it pay for everything crowd. It's not the worst of my issues at work. Maybe we should add more tax to alcohol too. That I'd be more in favor of. I'd vote yes, and everybody else would vote no. And cigarettes, let's put more tax on that too. Let's see. That's just my opinion. Prop 120 says, shall we reduce the property taxes from basically reducing them by $1 billion across the state. And I voted no against that. And this is the one thing that my partner might vote the other way on, because my partner has more property than I do. So it affects my partner a little bit differently. But I think it's just another way to short the money that state programs are getting from all that tax revenue and short social programs. And so they try every which way to get the money and make sure that it doesn't get to the programs. And so I'm in favor of keeping the tax where it is. I get that we just got out of a pandemic and people are hurting, and that I'm probably going to get voted down on that one. Everybody's going to vote yes, less taxes on us. Let's see. And then the more local ballot measures here. Shall my city amend their elections to allow for things like recall and overseas ballots from soldiers to come in a little bit later, in line with the Absentee Voting Right Act and whatnot? I'm all for that, so I voted for. The next one is, shall my city be amended to provide for background checks by third parties approved by the police, to hire the police, and basically the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and stuff, policies be followed in hiring police officers and conducting background checks on police officers. And I was like, damn, Skippy, more background checks for police officers, please. Then the next one is, shall my city's charter be amended to replace exclusively masculine pronouns with gender-neutral pronouns? And I thought, why not? You know, make it more inclusive for women and people who are non-binary. That's fine. Voted for. Next one is, shall my city establish a commission to explore the potential of breaking up our city into geographic wards so that people who are voted to city council come from each geographic ward rather than being voted at large. And I voted for that because I think, it would be good if we had more representation from each ward rather than everyone coming from the same rich part of town. So, yeah, I'm for that. Next one says, shall my city proper allow retail marijuana in a different way than it has allowed before? And I said yes. People are going to go across the municipal boundary and go get what they're going to get anyway, and it's just basically giving that tax revenue to a different geographic zone. If you do that, you're just giving up money. So at this point, so I voted yes. The next is, shall my city tax pot? And I said yes. I'll just leave it at that, basically. Raise another $2 million off of pot. Okay. Next one is, shall taxes be raised to pay for the quality of and level of response for public safety emergencies and fires, including police, fire, and court and stuff, provide safety gear, equipment, public safety vehicles, police officers, firefighters, first responders. And I voted yes on all that. And for a guy that, is supportive of the Black Lives Matter movement, might want me to vote like defund the police, but I think part of the problem is they have been underfunded. Everything has been underfunded in my state. Like, that's my whole theme through this entire ballot, is everything is underfunded. We need to raise more money. The reason why we're in the pickle we are now is we don't have the money to solve problems. So I voted yes, raise money for all that crap. And then improving training on and increasing mental health co-responders to safely handle emergency calls. That one specifically, as a therapist, I could get a job as a ride-along with police officers to go de-escalate problems with people having mental health issues and not have, the police just shoot them. So, yes, I'm all for programs like that. And I've seen job listings for very good amounts of money for that job. And they've been tempting. I've been a security guard before. I've never been a police officer. I am a veteran, and so it's kind of in line with my skill set. So I've been, sounds like a lot of drama every night. It could feed my drama habit, and I wouldn't have to watch as much drama on YouTube. And get paid for it. Wow. Next one is, shall my city increase the debt limit because they want to protect water quality and conserving natural areas along creeks and city parks and trails and wildlife habitats and provide more opportunities, and they want to increase it by like $5 million. And I said yes. And because of Tabor, in my state, any increase like that of any debt limit for spending or whatnot has to be approved by the people. So it's a psychological trick that the Republicans did that basically nobody wants to be taxed, nobody wants to spend money on anything because they equate it with tax. And basically it locks up my whole state for, generations to come. So I basically vote yes to things like that all the time because I realize that the reason why they're underfunded now is because of Republican fuckery. And that's it for this edition of Let's Vote. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you guys got your ballots in time as well.